Second Nature for Children is in their house. Coach, how you doing?
Great, man. Great, great, great. How was
Man, I'm doing absolutely great. So at the family come in, Facebook family, make sure you go over to YouTube, subscribe, like, share this information. I know by now one of these videos supposed to be gonna went viral by now. And so it just lets me know even more that there's a lot of a lot of work to do in the Black community. Further as us as a people and as individuals, taking our lives to another level. I was on YouTube, Facebook. I was on one. I'm just scrolling just to see what's going on, and I saw a girl talking, and she was saying that she was licking her tongue out, and it went viral. You know, just on. I think she was on TikTok. She say, and she was just saying how it went viral. So when I look out there and see some of the things that are going what they call viral, as a people, we're in trouble. And I'm talking about us, people of color. It's us. It's us. And so I just want to discuss us a little bit. And I want to talk to you about the number one thing that's killing blacks fast. Now, I can already came to the conclusion. I don't know what conclusion you at just yet, Coach. I'll let you tell what conclusion you at. But I've already come to the conclusion that as a group of us coming together, bringing people from different organizations and different religion groups or different backgrounds of all of color, I don't never, ever see us coming together as a people because we're too divided and we're too separated. Even I'm finding out even more now as individuals, we're not ready mentally to make the change, even as individuals, to connect with another individual, to be innovative, like I said, to help yourself, to help your family, and help the community. I'm seeing that we're now even a long way off from even that. And so, what I love to do is I love to bring solutions. We understand there's a lot of problems in our community and with us as a people. So I want to share with you now, and you could jump in anytime, but this came to mind because I deal with the mind, the body, and the soul. And if everybody can get that connection, I promise them that their lives will go to another level. And it's just learning how to connect the three together, your mind, your body, your soul. When you think about it, whatever you're struggling with in life or whatever area in life you're in, it's going to be based up under one of those areas. It's going to be dealing with your body, you're having issues. It's going to be dealing with your mind, you're having issues, or it's going to be dealing with your soul, you're having issues. So once you put those three categories up, everything else just sub topic right up under them. So when I speak of killing, let's make sure we define so we can understand what I'm saying to kill. I'm talking about to put to death. I'm talking about to cause the death of. I'm talking about to put an end to, get rid of, destroy. So now I'm getting ready to tell you what's killing blacks. And I address us as a people. I'm not talking about nobody else. I don't care about no other group of people when I'm talking about us, family. We're unbalanced. I'm going to say that again, and I'm explaining it to you. It's killing us because we are unbalanced as a individual. A lot of us haven't learned how to steady the mind, the body, and the soul to bring them together. And it's causing us to live a short life. Let me explain it to you. We overload one or two over the other. We either focus on trying to make money or trying to survive. Stay right there for a minute. Our focus a lot of times is on simply trying to make money or trying to survive, till we're not focused on our health. I'm seeing that a lot. I'm seeing people out there grinding, trying to make that money, and I know you got to survive. I know that. But you got to understand that your health is your wealth. That's an old saying, and it's so true when you think about it, because what good it does you to gain, let's just use the $1 million, the $2 million, the three, however many millions of dollars, and you're unhealthy. You're not balancing your life out. We got to make sure that we balance our life out till we work on our mind, our body, and our soul, and work on balancing them. Don't put too much of one over the other one. And we're unbalanced when it comes to fitness. And I want to focus on that a little bit tonight from some discussions that I had this week. Because to be balanced on fitness, you have to learn how to put cardio, nutrition, and weight training together. Teach you how to balance it out. How many years have you been going to the gym, or you've been talking to people and they say, well, I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And you're like, man, don't tell nobody that. Because look at you. You tell them you're going to the gym and you know, and just look at you. You either overweight or obese. So it lets me know you thinking that you coming to the gym. You may not know how to work out, first of all. But you're telling me I see you coming in on a consistent base and I see you losing. I see you lifting weights, but I see that you're still overweight and obese. It lets me know you're not balancing out your nutrition with your weight training. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, how to balance things out. You let me know that I don't never, ever, ever see you do what they call cardio for your heart and your lungs. So in fitness, we are unbalanced because we don't understand that we must put all three of them together and learn how to balance them off. Exercising is the number one, and I use this number, it's the number one thing that can help you balance your life, because it makes you have to activate your brain. When you begin to exercise, you have to activate your brain, because now you got to change, especially for people who do not exercise. Now you got to make a change up here. You got to activate this, because now you got to start up something new. Now watch how I connect the brain, because once you connect the brain that you got to start up something new, now you got to tap into that which dwells within you. And now you got to get the principles. So now you got to connect this to the principles. And I'm always telling you this. And I know early we say, well, last week we mentioned, well, we keep like regurgitating. Yeah, because now, but watch this though, because that's what I expertise in, these three areas. So it's not that it's so much regurgitating. We keep telling you the same thing. Yeah, but now it's time for you to take action on it. So if you just keep sitting and listening to it and it sounds the same, but are you doing it? That's the thing. So you may not be doing it. I'm trying to get you to get up and take action on these things. And these things, they'll change your life. I just showed you how to connect the mind, the body, the soul together within exercise. Because once you start exercising, you got to activate this to start. You have to connect it to that which dwells within you and use the principle. That's your discipline, your self-control, your consistency. You have to connect those things together. And then those two things, once you activate, once you connect the soul, then boom, then you'll be able to help the physical. And then that's how you become successful. Another thing, and I'm gonna let you go in, coach, another thing that's killing us fast is that we're not getting enough nature. We're not outside enough, and we don't understand that's killing us fast. And what we don't understand is the sun is the sustainer of life. I know the religion people have written their religion down and they say that the SON is the sustainer of life. But no, because everyone doesn't subscribe to the SON and they're surviving. But I promise you, not one person, if that SUN go out, if this oxygen stop flowing, if that rain stops falling, I promise you, we won't be able to exist in this universe. So the SUN is the sustainer of life. And another reason that we're getting sick so easy and that we're dying early is because we're not outside enough. We're not getting enough nature on us. And outside is the sustainer of life. Because every time you step into a building, you cut nature off. And then you walk into something that's artificial. When you watch us as a people, I want you to think about something. When you talking to us, woo, it's hot outside. Woo, I can't be out there. As soon as you get in the car, you turn in the AC on, and you just inhaling fumes from that artificial air, and you don't even realize you kill yourself because it takes different types of things and different kind of chemicals to keep that air cold, and you don't even realize that you're inhaling it, and you're not outside enough. Our people come from outside. I know we're living in 2024 now where they can build y'all some houses and cars and things like that. Y'all live in luxury. I understand. But we are people from nature, and that's how we live so long. A lot of this artificial stuff is killing us. So, family, I advise you spend as much time outside during the different seasons as possible because there's a lot of vitamins and minerals and things that we are deficiency from because we're not outside enough. And my advice to everyone right now that can hear me, pass this information on because we are dying fast because we're not balanced. Tell family to stay outside more, get more nature on you, and work on changing your eating habits and learn the principles that it takes to be successful, your discipline, your self-control. I'm going to keep telling you until you do it and respond back to me and let me know, you know what? It's working. I'm doing it now because we take the challenge every first full week of each month. And I ask for people to let me know how is it going. I haven't had one person to let me know that they're taking the challenge. So not only are we not moving as a group of people, but coach, I'm gonna be honest with you, we're not even moving as individuals to come together to form a group. So I ask you, coach, what you think Black's next move should be? What you think?
I'm gonna
If you want to hold on, if you want to come on something I said, you can. But I posed that question to you. What do you think that Black's next move should be?
well, this will be like a continuation of what you just talked about, and in a segue into the answer to the question. Um, you talking about us needing the sun? I agree. I agree at all that. But I also feel that we need to go back to loving ourselves in the kitchen, and I simply mean cooking. No one in a restaurant business is in that business to give you nutritional food. They're in the business to make money. I'm pretty sure if you have an opportunity to put together a meal, you're not going to cut corners when it comes to your nutrition. And I think that's one of the main things you can do to show that you love yourself. You can give yourself the nutrition you need. the proteins, the starch, the vegetables you need, and also you can hold back in them coins you spending on that artificial food out there. Because you talk about, chasing money, whatever. The average decent meal right now costs you about $20, $25. I'm talking about a decent meal. Now, if you got 4 people in the house, that's $100. If y'all spending 3 times, that's just one meal now. Look the money y'all spending. I'm not saying not to treat yourself, your family, what have you, but you got to go back into cooking. We look at cooking as a chore. No, man, you loving yourself when you cooking. You taking care of yourself when you cooking. Because I'm pretty sure intentionally you wouldn't feed yourself some crap. So why are you going to purchasing other people crap? Come on, man. So that's the part I think is also needed. And you testing it. Now you talking about what our next move should be. Man, we gotta look at earning potential as a triple threat. In the entertainment business, you sing, dance, you're a comedian, or you sing, dance, act, triple threat. We have to look at ourselves individually in that way. I know you got to maintain, the maintaining the roof over your whatever, but you got to look at 2 other ways, so that could be your earning potential, to supplement what you're doing, or in some cases, it could turn into bigger than the main thing. And that can be your thing, you know what I mean? In terms of, okay, let's say I deal with young people now. If I'm giving advice to a young man or a young woman, I would say get a trade. We talked about that before. Get a trade. You won't have too much expense when it comes to, college loans, whatever. Excuse me. I'll say pick up an instrument. Pick up an instrument and learn a foreign language, preferably Spanish. You know what I mean? You become a triple threat in that regard. You might be an older person that you used to play an instrument. You just put it down because you figure I got too old for that. You know what I mean? You can play it. I don't know, a studio session, even a church function, whatever, man. You know what I mean? A wedding band or whatever. You got to be a triple threat now, because that one salary, man, it's not doing. It's not gonna make it. Especially if you're the breadwinner, you got like 3 or 4 people in your house. That one salary is not gonna do it. So that's what I would deal with. Going back to loving yourself in the kitchen by cooking. That way you can save money and get more nutritional meals. And being a triple threat out here, you need at least 3 sources of income to cover your butt. Because if you look around what's going on, it's serious, man. And it's gonna get worse. It's gonna get worse. So that's my take, man.
Well, I want to, and I've done a video, and I don't know, I'm sure I've spoken on it while we've been on together as well, but speaking on, loving ourselves. And I've done a video I know on us being maybe unconscious of not loving ourselves and showing ourselves a strong liking. And that's something that's so very important that you brought up, that's definitely one of the first things that we have to begin to do, is not say that we love ourselves, but show that we love ourselves. And then once you begin to show that you love yourself, then you'll begin to think about the 3 categories when I'm talking about the body, the mind, the soul. Because when I look at you and I see that you're overweight or obese and you're not doing nothing about it, unconsciously, I'm telling you, you're not showing yourself a strong liking. And it's time for you to sit down and see what's going on. If you know that your health is all you got, you don't have nothing else. You can lose money and get it back. You can lose certain things and get it back. But let me tell you something. Your health, once you dead, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. And for the religious people who always contribute to God gonna do this and God gonna do that, let me tell you something. God ain't gonna do nothing. If you self-destruct, then you self-destruct. There's a difference between something happened to you that you didn't have no control over, there's something that you are self-destructing. Those are two different things. You know, self-destruction is just like suicide. You're literally, our people, we're literally killing ourselves because we haven't learned how to connect these three areas together. When you become conscious, facts, you'll begin to exercise. When you show yourself that you love yourself, you'll begin to take care of yourself physically. So don't tell me. You can tell yourself, you can fool yourself. And we may not get a lot of views on this. We don't get a lot of views when we tell the truth anyway. But I'm gonna put the truth out there anyway. I don't care. I'm gonna put the truth out there because I'm going through. I'm going through YouTube and I'm telling you Facebook just to see what my people are watching. We're in trouble. And I've done the video on we're addicted to gossip and we just like to hear. Man, that's all going on. Nothing is going on out there that's helping you take your life to another level. And man, we got 1 million views, 2 million views just on mess. And here we are trying to come together to tell us, I tell you what, if you don't love yourself, if you don't love yourself, can you at least show your children or your grandchildren some love? Can you at least let them know when you sit down and think about it, when you look at your grandchildren or your children and you see that they're either overweight or obese, and I need to take heed because my baby or my grandbaby or my children, they're not going to live long. I'm killing them unconsciously. Them being overweight or obese, there's a higher risk, especially if they don't grow to the point where it comes to them that, whoa, I got to take care of myself because from a child up to a certain age, you've been giving them all this bad food. Now it's so hard for them to mentally change and you kill it. Whether it's, we haven't even thought about that. We're literally killing our children and our grandchildren with feeding them all of this mess. We're killing them.
Yeah.
And by not exercising, we don't even understand how the neural system works. And I'm not going to get too technical because I want to keep everything basic, but I spoke on another video with serotonin and dopamine, talking about those two chemicals, and we can stay right there with those two chemicals. Don't you know that if you begin to exercise and change your eating, that those two chemicals running through that's produced coming from the brain, that's produced coming from the intestines, don't you know those two chemicals along with exercising and good eating would change your whole mindset, your whole outlook on life? Because it's those two chemicals, and I'm going to tell you, a lot of us are dealing with stress and depression. A lot of us. And we don't understand that if we begin to exercise and move those chemicals, because those two chemicals are dealing with pleasure, happiness, and then they put you in certain mood swings where you go into anxiety, depression, and things. So they're, once again, they're off balance. That's why a lot of us are not doing well, not feeling well spiritually or mentally. And then I think a lot of us have gotten to the age where we have just literally stopped dreaming. We have stopped dreaming. I remember being a child, and you could talk to children now. They dream. You know, they want to be this, they want to be that, they want to be this, they want to be that. Now, whether they be it or not, but they're dreaming. And I think that we have gotten to a point where we are not dreaming anymore to do better, to help ourselves, that we have gotten to the point where we're just strictly trying to survive. What you think about that, or where you want to go?
I concur, man. Let me go to where you talk about if you're not showing yourself love, to show the kids and the grandkids. I know someone told me, I know she's in her 30s, probably 35, 34, somewhere around there. And she said her grandmama told her she wished she had been more mobile, listen to the doctor when they tell her, you know what I mean? You got to do some walking. You got to do some, you're just sitting around too much. You got to be mobile. And I just listened because I'm like, dang, the same thing she told you, that's what you doing. And I can see 10, 15 years down the road, you can either have hip problems or knee problems or both. I'm just saying. Okay. Wow. But yeah, and damn, I lost my train of thought. What else did you ask?
From the
You picked
question, what do you think that we need to do? What move you think we
No,
need
no,
to
I,
make
I,
next?
I was going to say something else in regards to what you just finished saying.
I chopped a
Uh,
couple of things up and down.
yeah, but my thing is this, man. I can freestyle. If you can look for whatever it is you need on that device, that come on, man. You can't make a grown person aware. You can make them more aware, but you can't make them aware.
Mm.
They have to have it in them. Look, man, I need to do better. If you have that within you, you're gonna move towards things that can make you better, be it articles, be it, whatever to make you better. So you can't make people do that. All you can do is just tell them, man, what you doing, what's been working for you. Everybody's not the same, but you can still take the basics and tweak it to suit, your situation. We talking about chasing money. I've been there chasing money. I've been there. My kids were younger, but I never neglect my health.
Okay.
One thing, I'm gonna get a little rest. I might not get enough rest. I'm gonna get some rest, but I'm gonna eat good. You know what I mean? So I know how it is in that situation where you have to try to make ends meet. You're running from one job to the next. You might have 2 hours in between. Then when you get off that job, you got to get some rest to go for the first one. I know I've been there, man, and it's not a good place to be, But you got to look at what you are doing to contribute to that situation. You know, how are you spending your money? Are you spending it on necessary things, or you just spending it on wants? Just talk about the food. Food prices are high now, right? So the restaurant prices went up too for basic meals, man. So if we talking about one meal, like I said, and you talking about 4 people, that's $100. What about breakfast and lunch? Most people eat an average 3 meals a day. You talking about some serious money, man. So you got to get back to the kitchen, man. And that combined, that combined with exercising, your life is gonna change, man, for the better, no doubt. So
Absolutely. And there go the balance. See, that's the balance I hope that they're not missing when you talk about the eating and when you talk about the exercising. So you're talking about the body, you're talking about the mind, because you got to change eating, you got to change. It gotta come from here. The physical, it has to come from here. See how I'm connecting it? Then when it comes to the soul, the things that are within you, you're gonna have to use self-control, discipline, consistency, tenacity, because things are gonna get rough. You, you understand? And then
yeah,
I think,
yeah.
and then I'm gonna tell you another thing too that plays a big part. And I spoke about this in another video. That's why I hope everybody go back and scam through those videos, man. We got to be careful with the relationships that we're in, because a
Yep.
lot of us, it does you no good if you're trying to do the right thing, but you're
Mm.
connected to someone who's doing the wrong thing. And what we got to understand as a people, it takes more than I love you for us to make it as a couple. It's more important for us to have things in common. We can learn to love each other on down the road somewhere. I'd rather come into something where you're meeting someone, you got things in common, and then you enjoying those things that you have in common, and we can learn to love each other as time go on. I don't want to come in and I'm fascinated just with someone that, oh, I love you so much, I this, I that. And then once we begin to spend more time together, I'm finding out I really can't stand you. Because you understand? Let me tell you something. You really don't
Yeah.
know a person until you do two things. Until you spend deal money with them or spend more time with them. Until you do those two things. Because when you begin to start spending time with somebody and boy, you really find out really who they are, woo-wee, woo-wee. So you can love somebody, you in one part of the country and they in the other part of the country because as it's defined, it's just simply a strong liking for someone. But just because I'm trying to let people understand, just because someone say they love you, it doesn't mean that they're going to do right for you, or it doesn't mean that that's your mate for life. We got to get that understanding that it's so much more important that we have things in common and we can learn to love each other on down the road somewhere. So I think definitely being in those toxic, and a lot of us don't realize it because we've been in them for so long to and a lot of things that we have done that's not right, that we've done it for so long to it just become normal and we think that is right. You understand? But those toxic relationships is not good. And then getting back to this, one thing about exercising, I need for people to sweat to detox, to clean that. Yeah, I need people to sweat. A lot of us are walking around with all this bad stuff that's in us and we're not detoxing. And like I say, we're wondering why we're staying sick all the time. You're not sweating. And so I tell people all the time, you either sweat now or I promise you, you're going to bleed later. That's a fact. That's a fact. And so what we have to do, we have to make sure that we live for the now, but we have to think about our future. And I think what happens a lot of times, a lot of us don't think about the consequences that comes with not taking care of yourself. And when you start talking about the mindset and when you tapped on, and we've done it in other videos, listen, man, choices. You got choices in all three areas to take care of yourself, to make better decisions, to tap into your spirit. Everything is about what's the choices you're making. So when we talk about you got to work 2, 3 jobs, it's different scenarios. But I'm gonna tell you a lot of times what I've experienced. When I see certain people struggling, not all, I'm talking about conversations and observing, and I'm talking about dealing with us for over 30 something years, children and adults. When I see a lot of us struggling financially, a lot of it comes from the choices that we are making or that we have made. On a higher scale, if you can show me something else that has put us in a bad situation financially, I would like for you to share it with me. But I'm sharing with you that when I deal with people who are having financial issues, a lot of times it comes from decision making and choices that they're making. Because a lot of times they get themselves in a bind. You have to realize some things you got to sacrifice. Think of your future. I didn't get that right now until I put myself in a better position.
True.
Don't go out there and enslave yourself even more. Because right now today, a lot of us are just enslaved to stuff. A lot of us are just enslaved to stuff. So I'll leave it right here when I just say the number one thing that's killing blacks fast, we're unbalanced, dealing with our minds, our bodies, and our souls. And until we learn how to steady them off, we're going to always find ourselves in a bind. That's a fact. If you need my help, there's my information. If you want to support our organization, if you're not supporting any organizations and you want to help the youth, there's our Cash App, there's our website. Check us out. I'm done, Coach. You got 3 minutes and 14 seconds. I'm gonna let you close us out, whatever you want to do.
You talk about that love thing, man. I don't believe anyone can love you more than you love yourself, man.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
and it's a doing word, man. They can say it all they want. It's not costing them per letter. It's not costing them for the word. It's just saying. I'm talking about both male and female, you know. And then another thing, depending on how you treat yourself, you're showing someone how to treat you. You know, if you don't care what you eat, you know, you don't care what you rest, you don't care, but you know what I mean, stimulating your mind, whatever, how you expect someone to treat you better than you treat yourself, you know? So they can add to what you're doing or they can take away, and you got a choice. You don't want to take away from a good thing you already got going on, you know, prior to them meeting you, you know. But that kitchen, man, that cooking that we look upon as a chore, man, we really need to get back to that, especially now, like I said, with the prices of stuff, man. You know, every now and again retreat myself, but I got so disappointed now, like, no, man, that ain't not even worth it, you know, because I could done better than this. So that's instead of me spending that money there, let me go and buy the raw ingredients and put it together for myself. And then so I'm gonna have left over for the next day. So I ain't gotta worry about that. You know what I mean? You spend money in that one meal, you gotta spend money again tomorrow, you know? So, you know, cook enough for you and whoever, man, and so you can have left over. At least you know the money you got in your pocket, you can hold on to it longer. You know what I mean? And it's hard. I mean, I know it's true, but it's hard for me to believe all this time, man. Folks are not reaching out, man. It's sad, but we got to keep doing what we're doing, man. You telling them, but helping them, you know, working out. That man, come on, man, come on, you know. But we need to do better. We need to be more aware too, man, what's going on around us, you know, economically, and it's gonna affect us. So that's why you got to take care of yourself. Try to save some money and be mindful. You know, getting your needs and maybe a little of your wants if you can, but you got to be mindful because it's now starting to hit the fan with the little layoffs, with the bankruptcy. If you're up there by summertime, man, it's gonna be full blown. It's gonna be full blown. So don't think it's not coming, man. But keep being vigilant. That's all I can say, man. And I can't make you be aware of, you know what I mean, what you ought to be aware of. But just keep being vigilant and be better version of yourself, man. That's about it.
I'm gonna leave it right there, Coach. And until the next time, thank you.
All right, thank you.